All right, so we are going to, as promised, I'm going to do a demo video for the part that we did today. I apologize I couldn't get all this working up until now, and I'm not done with it yet, so it may not work all the way to the end, but we'll see what we can do. Um, all right, so the assignment that we're doing again here is going to be, and this may be two videos as well. It's going to be making this part, and this part is kind of deceivingly simple. Um, it's hard to see because of the dimensions they give you and the picture that they give you. It's very difficult to see some of these angles and to see some of these chamfers. Um, so, but the dimensions are all here, and I'm going to go over how to go ahead and make this parts. I'm going to do it kind of the quick way. I'm also going to show you a couple extra tips and tricks along the way to help you out and make life easier when you're using Inventor. So again, that's why this may run over to two videos, because they only allow me to do 15 minutes a piece. So anyway, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and start. We've got Inventor open. So I'm going to go ahead and open a part. You can open a part in several different ways in Inventor. I'm just going to go over to here and click on New Part. And here we go. All right, and as with every new part, we want to start a sketch. I think we all know that. So I'm going to start a sketch. I'm going to do it on the XY plane. So I'm going to hover over the plane. That's XZ, XY plane. I always start on the XY plane, and that'll become clear as we move on. I start on the XY plane, and I also start in one of the quadrants. So I'm going to make a rectangle. Okay, and as you can see, one of the dimensions is highlighted in blue, so I'm going to go back and get my dimension that I need here, and that's going to be, so it's 2.75 by 5.125. So we've got 2.75 tab 5.125 enter. Make sure I did that right. Yep, 5125 and 2.75. Okay, my rectangle is now off the screen. I can't see it. A quick tip is if you double click the mouse roller, it brings everything back into focus for you, or back into the screen. So that was a double click of the mouse roller. All right, so that's my kind of my base sketch there. So I'm going to finish that. I'm going to double click my mouse roller again, and then I'm going to go to, let's see, 3D model. It's going to choose that for me, and I believe the dimension is 1.750. So 1.750, enter. Okay. Now, you can use this over here if you want to rotate that way. I've never used this cube over here or any of this stuff here. If you want to rotate, just do a free rotate. If you hold down the shift key and the mouse roller, depress the mouse roller and the shift key at the same time, you can move things around. So with the shift key and the mouse roller depressed, you can move things around. If it gets all, out of whack, it's over here somewhere, double click the mouse roller and it brings it right back to you. So I'm going to just keep on doing that. So what we have here is we can do this a couple of different ways. We can use the filleting tool, or we can just make sketches. Okay, sketches and extrude cuts, and I'm going to do the extrude cuts first, just because it may not actually be simpler, but it's easier to understand. So we'll do the extrude cuts first. So I can see right over here that from the base of this part up to this line that's going across here is 0.75 inches. It looks almost like it's going to this line, but it's not. That 0.75 inch dimension right there is going to this line. So 0.75. We'll go back here. I'm going to do a rotate. I'm going to start a sketch. You can always start a sketch on a surface and just choose the last option. double click the mouse roller again, and then I'm going to start making lines for a sketch. Now I'm going to get a little wacky here with my lines. Okay. In fact, I'll even do, actually I won't do that. So what I need is I need to make a cut through this part, all the way through this part, to make that chamfer. So I am going to dimension. First, we know that all of the chamfers are 45 degrees, so I'm going to click this line and click this line right here. I'm going to place that dimension 45, enter. So now this sketch looks a little off. So I'm going to show you a couple things. If you go up here, you can go to the two lines that are meeting, and it's called the collinear constraint. And if you hover over it, it'll tell you what it is. So I'm going to click on the collinear constraint, and I'm going to click this line and this line, and it makes those two lines collinear. Okay. If you want your this is 135, and it won't let me get it back. Why won't let me get it back? Anyway, all right, I'm going to delete that. I'm just going to redo the dimension just so it looks good for what we're doing here. It's at 45 degrees. Yes, 45 degrees. I also want this line and this line to be collinear too, just for the heck of it. It doesn't really need to be. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just leave it the way it is. I'm going to go ahead and do the extrude cut. Now remember, we're still in the dimension because the dimension is blue here. And we're going to go to this intersection, and we're going to go to the bottom of the part and make sure that that is 0.75 inches. Okay. Now I'm going to go to 3D model, extrude. We want to do an extrude cut. Okay, so we're going to do an extrude cut. We're going to use that sketch geometry. I'm going to select a distance of all because I want it to go through the whole part. And I'm going to select OK. So, all right, we're getting there. So now what I'm going to do, instead of redoing that sketch or editing the sketch again to do it over on the other side over here, I'm going to mirror this feature that I just made. I'm going to mirror it over to the other side. But in order to do that, I need a plane. Okay, so I'm going to go up here to plane, and I'm just going to select plane, any old plane, and I'm going to select a surface that I want. This always starts your plane, so you can then you can mate your plane on this line here, or on this edge, or this edge, or this edge, whatever. We're going to go to the very center of the part, and we're going to just hover over until it gives us a plane. I'm going to click, and it gives us a plane directly in the center of the part. Okay, you want that plane to be directly in the center of the part. Now, I'm going to delete that. What I don't want to do is this. I don't want to make a plane, start a plane, and then go to the center of the top. Okay, because that plane is now not in the center of the part itself. So I'm just going to undo a couple times. Hopefully that plane will come back. All right. So now we're going to go to mirror. If you go up here to the pattern pane, okay, you're going to click on mirror. What's highlighted in blue is feature, so we're going to pick feature number 2, which is extrusion 2. And then we're going to highlight mirror plane in blue because that's what we're going to pick now. And we're going to pick this mirror plane here. And then we're just going to select OK. And we have that. Now I don't really want to see this plane anymore because I don't really need it, but I don't want to delete it. You can't delete it actually, so I'm just going to click visibility so that I don't see it. All right, so let's do it again on this side. We're going to make a sketch. We're going to go back to our drawing here, see what we got. Okay, we know that it's 45 degrees. We know that this line right here, this line is 1 inch above the bottom. Okay, so I've started my sketch again on this surface. All right, I'm going to go back here, And I am just going to go ahead and, again, I'm going to get a little crazy with my lines. And I'm just going to make lines here. Okay, I want this to be 1 inch above the surface. I want this. I'm still in dimension mode because dimension is blue. I want that to be 45 degrees. Okay, and I want these two lines to be collinear. Okay, I'm going to show you another mirror. Now this is a mirror function in the sketch world. So I'm going to create a line. What kind of a line do I want to make here? I'm going to create a line, but I'm going to make it a construction line, which is just a line that is in your sketch but does not do anything, or will not. Okay, see, if I hover over this, it turns into a green dot. That means I'm directly in the center, and then it gives me my little dotted lines there to tell me that I'm going straight up. So I now have a construction line straight up through the center of my part. I am going to go to mirror. Okay, I'm going to select all of this stuff to mirror. Then I'm going to go to mirror line, which is that construction line I just created. I'm going to click apply. I'm going to click done. I'm going to go to 3D model, extrude. Okay, distance is going to be through all. I'm going to do an extrude cut, and I'm going to use this and this, and I'm going to select OK. All right, we're almost there, and it's good because I only got 4 minutes. All right, so I am going to go to the top view here, and I'm going to start a sketch. And I am just going to, I'm going to start a sketch. Double click my mouse roller. I'm going to create a rectangle, just any old rectangle. Please do not get in the habit of connecting things, like when lines light up or points light up and stuff like that. You want things to be kind of loose, so to speak, in your sketch, so you can move things around. You don't want them to be connected to anything unless you're really meaning to. So in this case, I want to do a collinear constraint. Okay, because I want this edge and this line to be collinear, and I want this line and this edge to be collinear. Okay, let's look at our dimensions here. We can see that this is 0.625 wide, this slot. So I'm going to do a dimension 0.625, center. Now how do we get it centered? Not too hard. Let's just go make some lines. But in this case, we're going to make some construction lines. All right, so I'm hitting the construction button because I don't want these lines to really be part of my feature. I'm going to go from that corner to that corner. Okay, and I'm going to go from this corner to this corner. And I'm going to click OK. I can now go up to my coincident constraint, and I'm going to hover over these construction lines until I see a green dot, and that green dot's going to tell me that it's going to be in the center. So I want that green dot and that green dot to be coincident. Okay, that is now in the very center of that part. I did that without any math or measuring. Okay, finish sketch, extrude. We're going to cut. We do have a distance here, which I believe is 0.75, but I'm going to double check. It is 0.75. 0.75, enter. That kind of looks like our part. All right. Now, if I did this right, so we've only got 30 seconds. But anyway, that's how you do the part, and we'll check it when you get done with it tomorrow or whenever you do it. I'm about to run out of time for this recording, so I'll upload this for all you guys to watch. Have fun. Let me know if you have questions.